Settle down and get going for commencement. Basically, the education assisted by execution. So identify, figure out the standardizations, protocol, orientations, and a proper process. Don't just have bizarre assembly of those things. A proper structure of process to find out how is the order of it, the sequential order of it, how it should be. I won't be detailing the process. You'll have to go on your own. Flush out the brain, bronze, senses, flush out the mundanity, temporality, empiricism, because the knowledge process is not empirical or temporal, but it is an organic knowledge process. Find out at what point in time the silent utterance of Om comes and with what avail, with what purpose. The thing should not be merely done because you know, but you have to understand the purpose, whether it is purpose-based process or process-based purpose. Oh. 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 Yogena chittasya padena vacham malam sharirasya cha vaidyakena yopakarottam pravaram muninam patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi avahu purushakaram शंखचक्रासिधारिणम् सहस्रशिरसं श्वेतं प्रणमामि पतञ्जलिम् हरिः ओम्. Move your head down to the heart and surrender the exhalations. Drop the palm thing, open the eyes. Take note of what I just now said. Maybe you did not take note of it. In your education, process-based purpose and purpose-based process. So try to figure out whether the process is in place first, and if in that case, the purpose will be generated. While there is also possibility of purpose at first place and the process generated. So we want rationality in our process. So if it is purpose-based, purpose-generated, it will be possibly rational. If it is the other way around, it won't be that much rational. So make note of it and see that you try to decipher this, not only today, but over a period of time. Like in classes, the process is always in first place. And therefore, one doesn't take cognizance of the fact that there can be purpose-based process. That's a class culture. Teachers will give you a process and you will go by it. And then the purpose will be generated out of it. But it is also possible to have process in place first. The purpose in first place, and then process generated out of it. So take note of it over a period of time, maybe a couple of weeks, months, try to decipher it and understand. Anyway, let's proceed. All of you go to, we are already in Swastikasan, turn to right side, Swastikasan on the right. Understand the preparatories. What should be the proper order? To have a proper assemblement of protocol, orientation, initialization, sanitizations. At least have a thought, ponder over it. It will not happen, it will not happen today, may not happen today, but it should happen at some point in time, some stage in your pursuit. So find out which is more appropriate process. Because you are not just going to get prepared for posture, you are going to get prepared for posture, breath gesture, mind gesture. You are not just supposed to go for physical culture, you are also going to circumscribe, include breatho culture and mindo culture. You are not just going to do, you are going to stay, you are going to maintain, you are going to settle down. So understand these nuances, which comes in textual tradition with a greater emphasis. So don't be in a posture, it is an asana. So the arambhana kriya, the needed conditions. And the knowledge process will not be empirical or temporal or sensory or psychomental. The knowledge process is organic. It's a compound. Body matter, breath matter, mind matter, body, mind, breath, senses, speech, psyche, consciousness. They come together and then you have whatever cognitive process, perceptive process, knowledge process. So again, because this is a class, I will not be able to adhere to more ideal process, change the sites. Yeah, I said change the sites. This is irrational on my part. Let me make you know, because you are waiting for me to tell you to change. So now I said change the site. This is irrational. So understand that the teachers can be more often irrational and the class teaching is more often irrational. And you all want to learn yoga by attending classes, going to classes. You don't miss even one opportunity to be doing a class. So understand the pros and cons. Although I'm trying to adhere to educative process, this class gravity does come in, which will be one of the things is regimentation. Another aspect of it is universality. Like in the class, they tell you, all of you turn, all of you lift, all of you harden, tighten, straighten, stretch, elongate. So try to understand that's the class framework and how much irrationality is there. There is no subjective touch. Although yoga is a subjectivistic subject, in our times, the classic framework has trampled over that important aspect, the subjectivistic approach, subjectivism. So, what are the preparatories of asanas? The profound exhalations, customized exhalations, the Vayu Kriya, the Pavana Kriya. And now, once again, change the crossing and change the sides. See, this is again irrational. Maybe it was proper for you to do second time. But because it's class situation, I said change the crossing of the legs. Because you may not be able to identify irrationality in you. Therefore, I am projecting my irrationality. So you'll easily understand that irrationality will get in quite predominantly. So you won't know, nobody will say you are irrational. But I'm trying to divulge that I am irrational. And others' irrationality will easily identify. Our irrationality will rarely identify. If somebody is irrational, we immediately identify. We are under the assumption that we are never irrational, more often rational. So therefore, I am second person to you. Therefore, I am divulging how irrational I am. So you should not hesitate to trace any irrationality in you when I myself am irrational. Posture, breathesture, mindesture, physical culture, behavioral culture, culture has to be circumscribed. So understand the preparatories. The preparatories. Find out, is the purpose turned out by the process. So more often it will be the case that the purpose is turned out by the process. In a raw condition, usually this is the case. Because your technique of this Parivritta Swastikasa or Parsva Trikon. So there is a process. And the purpose will be borne out by the process. However, after little more prepared, it is possible to have purpose in place first and the purpose generating process. Now the other side. So identify the educative content in what you are doing, educative content of what you are doing, educative content in how you are doing, why you are doing, what are you doing. To understand the importance of profound exhalations for material changes in body matter, mind matter, breath matter, sense matter, mind, psyche, consciousness matter, there has to be a transformation, a needed condition and transformation in the matters with which you are dealing. You are not just dealing with body. You are not just dealing with mind. You are not just dealing with breath. You are dealing with body matter, mind matter, and the breath matter, and they should be getting needed well. To understand this epistemology, the knowledge process is turned out of body chemistry, body processes, and therefore it is not as temporal, as empirical as usually the knowledge processes. The mechanicality. When you are turning to left, your head should be also sometimes turned to right. The head should be straight. I have given this education, but it has not been taken. Turn to the left, head to the left. Turn to the left, head to the right. Turn to the left, head straight. turn to left, head back. So these are all nuances, implications. Let go, relax. So again say, I said, let go. I stopped you. I interrupted your process. And that is irrationality on my part. Because I don't want to expose you of your irrationality. I am exposing my own irrationality, so you will not hesitate to identify your own irrationality. When the teacher himself is irrational, understand the probability of the student being irrational. So you'll not hesitate to identify your irrationality. And again, understand how yoga is not a endeavor that has to be learned in class, but we all want to learn yoga in a class. Go to classes for decades and decades and decades and decades and decades and learn there. Now, all of you, you'll be standing up and you'll be moving for Parivutta Tadasana. That is, you will stand at the wall, right turn at the wall, back to the wall, and then take a right turn. And now use your hands against the wall, stand at an ideal distance so that you are able to rotate. So toes facing the right side. Turn completely to the right side. Turn the feet as well. Shanti. Right about turn totally. So you might keep feet little apart. So your toes should not face the camera. And then place the palms on the wall rationally. Shaku, why are you spreading your legs? Shaku. I said Tadasana. Turn right to the right totally, from the feet to head. Feet to head, turn to right. Why are you spreading the leg? Turn the feet and legs as well. So you can do, undo, rationalize your process, find out how the hand should go, where the hand should go, how they will be functional, how they will be productive. So have your intelligence to be more and more rational. Don't change the side. Adita, why you do that? That's the wrong way. Okay, I can't see it. It is dark. Okay, right. So you can undo, redo, improve the version. Don't change the side until I tell you. Improve the version. Feet might be slightly apart. Feet together is not a mandate because then you will not turn better. So feet can be about 6 inches apart, as wide as the hips, and you can turn. So try to rationalize. I want to have a teacher inside you whereby you do better. You keep on doing better and better and better with respect to placements, activities, adjustments, corrections. So see that like it is a signature condition of Iyengar yoga of our times, which is physical culture, physical culture, physical culture. See that it is not only that, it is breatho culture, mindo culture, posture, breathesture, mindesture. I'm giving time for you to rationalize your process, improve the version, improved edition, like a book, improved edition, not only second, third, fourth edition, improved edition, improved version. I want you to depend on a teacher within, whereby you will do better. And now you may change the sides. See, again, irrationality on my part. Turn along with your feet and legs to the left side. And then proceed your hands on the wall. See that you place them more rationally with propriety. Propriety and probity. And therefore, see that you are having a thought process to be more and more rational, more and more appropriate, more and more proper. You can undo and redo. Slowly, you will get the access. So find out, progressively, you will get the access, penetration. Have you rationalized the placement of the palms? I want to be self-dependent and not an importer from a teacher. That's why I'm not telling you about specifics. You have to customize it. The improvement should be customized. It is different from person to person to person. It is different between men and women. It is different between young and old. It is different between the literacy, because of literacy, probity. Let go. Relax. I want you to undergo the scrutiny. When the teachers teach you in the class, you don't go for scrutiny. Understand what has happened to yoga over a period of time. When you commenced, maybe 20 years back, 30 years back, 40 years back, 50 years back, it was proper for the teachers to instruct you, tell you. Perhaps, more often, perhaps you heard also, don't use your intelligence. Don't use your intelligence. Leave it to teachers. The teachers will tell you. That is perfectly right when you are not sufficiently trained and educated. But this cannot be a lifelong process. Many of you, those who encountered Guruji, you might have experienced. He would come and smack your head, spank your head. Don't use your brain. Don't use your brain. I will use the brain. My brain, you just follow. This is perfectly right at that stage of pursuit. But when you are 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, that means you are almost a youngster. You are almost a adult. You are almost an adult. Now, if the adult is not going to use the brain, who is going to use the brain? When you started, you were all children, irrespective of your age. Maybe you're in your 20s, maybe early 20s, late 20s, early 30s, etc. But you are all children. We were all children when we started. But now, if you are doing 30 years, you are an adult. So it's not proper to say don't use your brain, because as an adult, one is going to use the brain. One is supposed to use the brain and is going to use the brain. So I want you to rationalize your adjustments, corrections, improvements, rather than teacher telling you your feet not aligned and therefore align. You are not turning here, therefore turn. You are not lifting here, therefore lift. You are not concave here, therefore make it concave. So in a class, there are younger teachers, there are hawk's eyes. Suppose you are already an adult person and your parents and elders are getting behind you. Will you tolerate? Will you like? You are already an adult. But the old bumps, as they are called, in the house, if they interfere every time, will you like it? And that's why I stressed on education, that you must develop that a teacher in you who is able to guide you rationalize your process. And now they are the stand up, the other side. The other side. So I'm not going to do spoon feeding, right? Usually teachers tell you harden, tighten, straighten, stretch, elongate, pull, push, harden, etc., etc. I'm not going to tell you all that, which we have to tell a beginner, because beginner is a child, irrespective of the age, biological age. There can be 30-year-old beginner, 60-year-old beginner, 80-year-old beginner. Start. So find out how many of you have given scope for something beyond physical culture. It might not have come to many of you because our indoctrination is that what you do is asana, which is a posture. Posture means physical culture. Physical culture means biomechanics. Harden, tighten, straighten, stretch, elongate, extend, rotate, concave, convex, in, out, up, down, etc., etc. Now, right about turn, go to first side, and don't have your legs in Tadasana, but spread your legs. The right leg forward, left leg back. Right leg forward, left leg back, about 3.5. And again, find out, be rational about the distance. You can try different distances and find out which is more proper, which is more appropriate. We won't like standardize. Trikonasana, 3.5 feet apart, 3 feet apart. Utthita Parsva 5 feet apart. So find out which is more appropriate. So rationalize your process. Technically improve your process on your own. So you're all only trying and trying and trying. You are supposed to be experimenting to rationalize. Where should you keep the palms? Martin Fletcher, you are doing wrong. Right side, I said right leg forward. And then you have to turn. First face the front and right turn, right about turn, and then right leg forward. The leg closer to the wall should be spread forward. So indigenously turn on the technology, because I do not know in what phase you are, whether you are in posture or breathesture or mindesture. So it is not proper on my part to tell you whether you are in physical culture or breatho culture and mindo culture. So you will have to rationalize, and therefore I don't want just to be trying. This is the Bob word of Iyengar students or any student. We are trying, I am trying, I am trying, I am trying. I want you to be experimenting. Actually, you are standing wrong. Right leg forward, left leg back. You have to stand parallel to the wall, not angular. You have to stand parallel to the wall. So decide on distance, decide on placement of your arms. So you have to rotate your hips, your legs should be straight. So find out which is to be given priority, whether you should let go the legs and rotate the hips and then instate the legs, or whether you should Instead, the legs a poker stiff and then rotate the buttocks, which is not proper. And therefore, I want you to have your rationality. It is not proper to have poker stiff legs straight and then try to access the hips. You have to slightly compromise on your legs and then get the access penetration in the hips and then instate the legs. So what happens in the class? Teacher sees somebody's legs are bent, straighten the legs. Now might be you are in a process of turning, therefore you have compromised on your legs and later you will be straightening the other side. The other side. Turn around, right about turn and left leg forward. So find out what is the ideal distance. Ideal distance. How far you should be away from the wall. How far your feet should be apart. And try to keep the feet parallel to the wall, not angular. Not one foot closer to the wall and the other one relatively distant. Maria Paula, are your legs parallel to the wall, feet parallel to the wall? Or one leg away, one leg closer? What is it? The left leg will be forward if you are turning to left side. Right leg will be back if you rotate to left side. So see that it's a posture for physical culture, breatho culture, mindo culture. Understand the posture for physical culture, posture for breatho culture, posture for mindo culture. So sometimes it can be tried if you all have a window in the room. Don't not today, but sometimes you have to see how you can do with the window if it has a grill. If it has no grill, which is the case today because you are all in skyscrapers, in that case you must have grill for your windows. Let go. Come up. Come out. Sit wherever you are or wherever you want to. Sit on the floor or sit on the chair. See, today, because we are all in our buildings are all skylines, 20, 30, 40, 50 stories. And therefore, on higher floor, you don't have grills. But if you have a yoga room, you must have a grill to the window. Okay. Incidentally, let me give you a little not so relevant input, but it is very relevant if you are able to relate it. You know, we had 4 plus 4 Vedas. How many of you know? Traditionally, we had 4 plus 4 Vedas. The first 4 were called Vedas and second 4 were called Upavedas. Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samveda, Atharvaveda. And then Upavedas, Ayurveda, Dhanurveda, Sthapatyaveda. So each of the 4 Vedas had a sub-Veda. So Sthapatyaveda is with reference to constructions. all kinds of civil structures, civil constructions. So that was dealing with, that was called Sthapatya Ved, architecture's scripture. So those four Upavedas were Dhanur Ved, Yajur Ved, Gandharva Ved, and Sthapatya Ved. Now I'm referring to Sthapatya Ved. See, one of the principles for a structure is that how your house should be facing. Where should be the front of your house? Direction wise, this should be the back of the house. Now we are totally messed up with the ancient wisdom today, because we first have the roads before we buy a plot. More often, is that right? Before we buy a piece of land, there is already a road. The road doesn't have any rules about about directions. The road has to go from point to destination. So roads are constructed. Now, in our times, all those structures, civil structures, are parallel to the road. Is that right? All our buildings, our houses are parallel to the road. This is a big blunder. So nobody will have a house built which is not parallel to the road in front of the house. Now the road don't have directional rules. There are no directional conventions. There are no directional norms for the road to be constructed. Is that right? The roads are constructed with a convenience. So the road links one point to another point. Now all your houses, all your apartments are built parallel to the road. And therefore we compromise with the directions, the four directions, cardinal directions. Whereas the science of architecture tells us where should be the front of the house direction wise, and therefore the opposite will be back of the house. Where should the east be? Where should the west be for your house? Now, major blunder that we have done in our modern civilization, urbanization and civilization, is that we build our road, the house invariably parallel to the road. This is a basic blunder. So suppose this is the road. It doesn't have Sthapatya Ved. Sthapatya Ved doesn't refer to road. Whether the road should be going to northwards and southwards and eastwards. It will go everywheres. There will be road to east and west and north and south and all the subcardinal directions. Road will go anywhere it should be going. There are no norms. But for the house, there are norms. And we compromise with it because of this notion and because of this convention that we build our house or apartment parallel to the road. And we mess up with our house. So maybe the road is like this. The house may be built this way, angular also. According to the norms of Sthapatya Veda, if the road is going east-west, and suppose your house should be facing north, and the back should be facing the south. So usually your entrance is from the front, gate at the front, parallel to the road. Then you enter from that gate. and you have messed up with your architecture. And it is recent times that people are consulting the ancient wisdom called Vastu. Indians are aware of it. Now we are consulting Vastu. And then we are told, no, this is wrong, that is wrong. Your kitchen is in the wrong place. Many of the apartments have, when you enter the house, the first you get on the right side is kitchen or left side is kitchen. And then you go to the internal room. The kitchen is supposed to be more inside the house, not at the very entrance. If it is right at the entrance that you enter and you have kitchen on the right or left of your house, you are spoiling the psyche of the guest because of aroma. You spoil the mind of the guest because he will get aroma the moment he enters the house. You are cooking something in the kitchen. It might be bewitching. So his mind is disturbed. He's coming for a serious discussion, and then you get the aroma of masala dosa, which is enticing. So you spoil the mind of the guest. So kitchen is not supposed to be at the entrance. People should not pass through the kitchen through the corridor. The kitchen should be at a far end from the entrance. So these are all certain norms. Today, architecture decide how your house should be designed. And there are these norms. You won't build your house diagonal to the road. Is that right? You won't structure your whole mansion, apartment, etc., which is diagonal to the road. So we mess up where the east comes and where the west comes, where the north comes and where the south comes. It can come to the corner of the house. So many times the corner of the room is east. While the wall should be at the east, the corner is at the east. This is all messing up. The Sthapatya Veda was telling about construction. Don't think that our ancestors were staying in forest and woods and they were all aboriginal people wrapping clothes around their bodies, as modern anthropology speaks about. Our ancestors were rishis and munis and sages and yogis, avatars and acharyas, saints and sages. We did not have aboriginal ancestors, which most of the world is believing. They were very wise. And therefore, we had Sthapatya Veda. How to build a temple, how to build a house, how to build any building which is public utility building rather than a private utility building. So all this is part of Sthapatya Veda. How it should be designed. Most of the houses today are square or rectangular, except our institute, which is odd shape. It is not a rectangular hall. So there are certain norms whether your house should be rectangular. Your inner rooms might be having parallel walls, but sometimes the external walls, it say that it should not be parallel. Internally, you can have parallel rooms so that you don't mess up with your rooms. Like our institute building, you know how it is shaped. It is not a block. It is not a rectangle. It's not a square. Anyway, so this Sthapatya Veda deals with those things. And today, most of the Indians are consulting the Vastu. Vastu Shastri for their houses. And they also make some changes, etc., etc. Anyway, we have been staying in houses from time without beginning, time immemorial. Not that we were savages, wild people staying in hut nets and living in forests, etc., living in caves, etc. We had Sthapatya Ved. We had a Ved from time without beginning. Anyway, well, that is not in your syllabus to tell you about the 8 Vedas, 4 major and 4 minor. But for me, they are in my syllabus. Why for 4 major Vedas and why for 4 minor Vedas? In my syllabus, they are there. In your syllabus, they are not yet there. But the configuration that you are going for in various asanas, it is important to consider that it is a design. And therefore, which is sometimes that said, nobody paid heed to it, mandala concept, yantra concept. Asana is a yantra. Asana is a mandala. These are all esoterics of designs and shapes and forms. I would talk on it now, today. Anyway, it is interesting to know why Gandharva Ved. What is the purpose of Gandharva Ved? This is only to encourage arts. Nonsense. Nonsense. Gandharva Veda is not just to encourage the arts, music, dance, drama. It had a purpose. It's a wisdom book. A book on entertainment science is not really a wisdom book. It might be only a knowledge book, dramatology. It's a branch of knowledge. But it's not a branch of wisdom. But Gandharva Ved is a book on wisdom. If you are interested, sometimes you can pose a question on this and we can deal with it. Anyway, sorry for opening out this Pandora's box. But it's all part of yoga at some stage or the other. Anyway, now you all come back on the floor, take a belt and swastikasana. Take a belt from around your feet, on the foot, one foot, and catch the belt. Turn to right hand side, swastikasana on the right. So, swastikasana position. Your right hand should be going toward the left foot. If it reaches, well and good. If not, I'll give you the extension. So you see that you keep the crawl towards the foot or make a smaller loop in case if you are cooking. But you must take that hand closer to the foot. Swastikasana, Baddha Swastikasana, Baddha Swastikasana. Take the right hand back, reach to the foot part and try to go as close as possible. Now this is a different swastikasana, you will notice it. Anyway, don't, why I came to this topic, because I said you all say, I'm trying. This is an excuse. You will always tell the teacher, I'm trying. I want you to experiment. Understand what is the difference between trying and experimenting. Trying is an excuse, it's a vague word. It doesn't specify as to what your dynamics are. But in experimentation, it is more formalized. It is more a scheme, and then it will work on your configuration, the shape. Your body should be yantra. Your body configuration should be yantra. It should be a mandala. So these are the concepts which sometimes you can get to know about what is a yantra and what is mandala. So I don't want you to try. I want you to experiment. You are doing with some probity. You are doing with some kind of rationality. You are doing something with a kind of scrutiny. You can't say without scrutiny you are experimenting. Every stage there must be scrutiny when you are experimenting. When you try, you don't have scrutiny in place, but you must have scrutiny in place. Left hand to the knee. Toresa, left hand to the knee, and right hand goes to the belt. Left hand comes to the right knee. Left hand comes to the right knee. See the confusion. Why are you turning the other side? Same side, turn the same side. Why did you change the side? Don't change the legs. Just change the side. Turn to the right hand side. See, you are confused between right and left. And that's basic ignorance of the Sthapatya. Directions. Still you are turning to left side. That is wrong. I am stipulating to turn to the right. Teresa, sorry, you are turning the wrong side. You have to turn to other side. Yes. Catch hold of the belt for that foot there. The right foot will be caught by the right hand. The left hand will go to the knee. Left hand will come to the knee. Right knee. See, you are not familiar with this basic pose. You confuse between those. Okay, now change the sides. Anyway, your house is a citadel. How many of you know that? Your body, physical body, is a citadel. Navadwara Puri on the other side. Take the left hand back, catch hold of the left foot, catch hold of the left foot, right hand to the left knee. So this is the structure. This is the structure. So find out where your right shoulder should face, which direction, where your left shoulder should face, which direction your chest should face, which direction your back should face, which direction your right side, left side, lateral should face. So the body is a citadel of 9 gates. Upanishads say this, Navadvara Puri. 9 gates are there. Hope you know what are the 9 gates. So it's a structure. It is house of your Atma. Your body is a house of your Atma. Your mind is house of your Atma. Your consciousness is house of your Atma. So that house should be in proper shape. That's a Sthapatya Ved concept in asanas. So you should be clear about Purva, Paschim of the body. Purva means front of the body. Paschim means back of the body. I'm not referring to cardinal direction. East of the body is the front of the body. West of the body is the back of the body. And then identify the south and north. So find out how your head should be. Your head can be to left, right, straight, back. So in asanas, the Sthapatya concept does come. The Vastu concept does come. Let go, relax. Anyway, the change of legs are there. I'm taking a bypass. Let me concede again one more thing. You are all facing the camera, is that right? In a class, you are facing the camera. So you have arranged where your laptop should be and you are facing the camera and doing. Ideally, if you are a student, you should be facing the north. First preference. Second preference, facing the east. Avoid facing the west and avoid facing the south. I am referring to cardinal directions. Now let me concede, we have made a big blunder in constructing the institute. We have made a big blunder in constructing the institute. In the hall, teachers face the north and students face the south. So the students don't get advantage by attending the classes in the institute because we have messed up there. The platform should have been on the other side and the column should have been on the other side, and those window panels should have been where the platform wall is. So the whole institute should have been turned so the students would face the north while they are learning. The teachers don't have to face the north while they are teaching. The students have to face the north, ideally, when they are learning. But here it is opposite. The teacher faces the north and the students face the south. So consequence can be anticipated. The consequence can be envisaged. Consequence can be imagined. Because all the students are facing the wrong side. Ideally, they should face the north. So I'm conceding. Because in 1975, I did not know Sthapatya Veda and Vastu. By the time I realized it was already 25, 30 years old institute. Now, there was not proper for me to demolish and reconstruct. And that will not be done for another 100 years. We will not think of demolishing and reconstructing. But we have made a major blunder. It is because of lack of knowledge about Vastu. So I'm conceding, I'm a director of the institute. I'm conceding that we have made a mistake. I realized it only later. Well, after 20, 25, 30 years later, when I studied Vastu, I studied Sthapatya. What is the Sthapatya? Why for Sthapatya? Why it is Veda? What is its role in our human life? Whether you build a house or you don't build a house, you all live in a house. Is that right? Whether you build a house or you don't build a house, you live in a house. And therefore, this care must be taken. So among the 4 cardinal directions, I said north is the best. But if you also include the sub-cardinal directions, north is not the best. Northeast is the best. Northeast is the best. Meditation is the northeast, ideally. For your yoga, face the northeast. So you will not be parallel to the wall, probably, but yet you have to face the northeast. But suppose the wall is at northeast now, and whatever you did standing now, then it is appropriate direction. So that north is called Ishanya. Isha means divinity, the god, and gods. So that's the direction of the gods. The west is direction of the demons. The west is direction of the demons. Anyway. Westerners don't feel bad about it because you're all Westerners. Most of you are Westerners. But understand, the direction of the west is of demons. Now, the direction of the east is of the great sun god, because he rises in the east. So this is the Adi-Daivik aspect to the direction, which modern people are not aware. East, west, north, south. There is no such concept, idea, or reality divulged about the four directions. This is big, therefore west. There's nothing wrong with the east or west. East is good, west is good, south is good, north is good. Anyway, the embodiment is a citadel. It's not just your body. So it is a citadel of the self. And therefore, it must be proper vastu and proper sthapatya and proper structure. Anyway, sorry for bringing too much of sthapatya Ved, which is irrelevant to you. But I'm telling you, it is very relevant after an hierarchy. I presume that you will come to that hierarchy that it matters. Okay. All of you sit in Dandasana. Now, I want you to go to Dandasana, parallel to the wall. I want you to use your hands against the wall. So go to the wall, don't touch the wall, and sit with the hands against the wall for you to rotate with the help of the wall. You are done in the middle, you know how to use the hands when you are in the middle of the room. So I'm not repeating that. You have done it for all the times. So all of you, find out what support you can use. It may not be wall, it can be a cot. So today you might be doing because you are giving importance to camera and then you are taking your position. But sometimes when you do on your own, find out you have something else to differently grip, differently use the support, and then try to do your Dandasana, Parivritta Kriya of Dandasana. Anyway, I said we are all stuck in posture. This is quite obvious. For us, asana is still a pose and still a posture, still a physical culture. We don't go beyond. So let me now, it is now more than an hour since we started the class. Let me bring you to another aspect for you to understand is the chemical process. All of you use the Prithvi Kriya in your Dandasana, Parivritta Kriya of Dandasana. Use the Prithvi Kriya, the lam. So you will know that you are dealing with the chemistry of element of earth, the properties of element of earth, chemical properties of element of earth. So find out, it will be typical. But phenomenally, it will be the same. You lift, you rotate, you harden, you tighten, you make concave, you make convex. So all that is standard. The postural things are all standard. But it makes a big difference because it is Prithvi. Prithvi has a chemical properties. It's a chemical entity. Prithvi is a chemical entity. And therefore, you will handle the Prithvi matter, Prithvi chemistry in you. So therefore, it is typically different. Although posturally it is the same. Harden, tighten, straighten, stretch, elongate, rotate, pull, push. This is how it is taught in our times. But now you have to know that you are doing that, but that is not a major thing because the major thing is that it is element of earth. So understand it is a chemical process. And now change the sides. Turn around, change the sides. And we'll go to Vam. So you know that between the right and left, there is a radical difference. There's a radical difference between the right side that you did and the left side that you are doing. This is one. This is one. But phenomenally, you will do the same. Hard and tighten, straighten, stretch, elongate, in, out, up, down, soft, hard, ascend, descend. So they are going to remain common. However, chemically totally different. And therefore, this lift is different lift than the Prithvi lift. This rotation is different rotation than the Prithvi rotation earlier. This suction contraction is different chemically than what was earlier with lung. So try to improve your version. Try to improve version by stroke. Time to time, find out, you rationalize. I won't tell you what is correct and what is wrong and how to adjust, etc., which is usually taught in a class. Adjustments are taught, corrections are taught. I want you to learn them organically by your probe, by probing, by your scrutiny, by your analysis, by your epistemology. Change the sides, the other side. Turn around. So you will say you're doing second time. Sorry, it's not second time. Start. Turn around. It is not second time. You are going to use the ram. Teja Tattva. Chemistry of Tej. Agni. It is radically different. But you will only say, I did right, now I am doing right again. But that was lam, this is ram. So inherently different. So sometimes back I told you about asanatva. Dravya of asat. Dravya, guna, karma, samanya, vishesha, samavaya. Most of you never thought on it. In all these days, when I told you, you thought about it. But you never again pondered over it. Dravya, guna, karma, samanya, vishesha, samavaya. 6 aspects. So dravya is different. This is Agni. This is Agni Tattva. Agni has different functions. Guna. It has different qualities than Prithvi. So qualitatively, this is different. Guna is different. Karma is different. What Agni does and what Prithvi does are two different things. Samanya Vishesha are different. So take it as a light hearing. Dravya, Guna, Karma, Samanya, Vishesha will change. Samavaya won't change. Let go and the other side. Now you'll say you're doing second time on the left. This is not second time. This is the fourth thing on the left. This is fourth thing on the left. You will go to Yam, Vayu, quickly. So you'll go to fourth thing on the left. So rationalize it indigenously. Because you're all used to export in a class. You export every know-how from a teacher. No exports are allowed. Or exports are discouraged. Like what your American president has done. Tariffs. And that's why the things are becoming expensive in your country. Which are imported, they all become expensive or unavailable. So I don't know whether President Trump has played a trump card for the gain of America or loss of America. Okay, let go, relax. Anyway, understand what I was trying to put across. You can modify the chemistry of it radically, quite diametrically opposite as well. Prithvi up, Tej, Vayu, Akash. While you seem to be doing the same. Those who were in my Thursday class, you can again go to the recording and listen to that. If anybody wants to get the recordings, you can get the recordings from office of Thursday morning class. I spoke something called concept of horizon and beyond the horizon. All our indoctrination keeps us within the horizon. We can see, we can behold, we can feel, we can sense, we can understand, we can comprehend. We would like to have a yoga class where you understand nothing, not even a damn thing you understand. No comprehension, no perception, no sensation. Will you like to have such a class? You will say very agnostic class. So there are certain things which are within the horizon. So what is within the horizon, inside the horizon, you can see. Like you go to seashore and you will see extending up the horizon. It might be 10, 20, 30, 40 kilometers. And you will see up the horizon, the sea. But the sea does it not exist beyond the horizon? Does the sea only extend up to exist only up to horizon and no ocean beyond horizon? Nonsense. So many aspects of yoga, when they are within the horizon, you can sight, you can feel, you can experience. But there are many things which cannot be sighted, which are beyond the horizon, which cannot be felt, which are beyond the horizon, which cannot be imagined, which are beyond the horizon, which cannot be experienced at all, which are beyond horizon. So for you to include the yoga, which is beyond horizon, listen carefully. Practice doesn't work. Sadhana works. Because many of you are keen to know what's the difference between practice and sadhana. What is beyond the horizon is circumscribed by the process. You don't circumscribe because you don't see, you don't experience, you don't know. So you only know, etc., which is inside the horizon. Yoga works beyond the horizon. You work within the horizon. You can perceive, cognize, sense, feel, experience. So you and me work within the horizon. Yoga works beyond the horizon. For it to work beyond the horizon, which is not sighted by you, experienced by you, is by sadhana. One of the clues I am giving that yoga is not merely endeavor for practice and practice and practice and practice makes the man perfect. I don't know which stupid man has said this. Practice makes the man perfect. No person will be a perfect human being by practice. You are a carpenter. You practice carpentry. You will become perfect carpenter. You are a violinist. You practice violin. You will become perfect violinist. You are a cook. You perfect your cooking by practice. You become perfect cook. That doesn't mean you become perfect human being. Becoming perfect human being is a different idea, proposal, concept. So practice doesn't make the man perfect. The man is for human being. It's not sexist term. When they say practice makes the man perfect, this is a stupid person who has misguided the world. You will never become perfect by practice. You will never be perfect human being by practice. It requires conduct. It requires character. Is that right? Character will make you a perfect human being. Conduct will make you a perfect being, not practice. I am a musician, I practice piano. I am a musician, I practice violin. I am a musician, I practice sitar. I am a vocalist, I practice my vocal. It will not make me perfect man. It will only make me perfect vocalist, perfect musician, perfect carpenter, perfect professional man. So you can get your proficiency in a profession, vocation, hobby. You will never become perfect man. To become perfect man is a totally different idea. Who was the perfect man? Purushottam Prabhu Ramachandra. He was called Purushottam. That is perfect human being. Practice did not make him perfect. The conduct, the nature, character, his dharma made him perfect. About Rama, Valmiki himself says, Ramo Vigrahavan Dharmaha. Rama, Sri Rama, is personification of dharma. He is not a mortal like you, 2 legs, 2 hands, and 1 head, and back, and liver, stomach, colon, bladder, spleen, pancreas, senses, and organs, and brain. He was personification of dharma. And therefore, Valmiki says emphatically, Ramo Vigrahavan Dharma. Vigraha means personification, perfect image, complete image of Dharma. That is why he was called Purushottam, accomplished as a human being. The greatest musician is not accomplished human being. Greatest industrialist is not a perfect human being. The greatest historian, physician, mathematician is not a perfect human being. So I don't know when it will happen that this saying should be expelled from human mind. Practice makes the man perfect. All practices are within the horizon. Nothing is done, nothing happens beyond the horizon. And that's why man remains man, despite being greatest musician, greatest physician, greatest mathematician, greatest philosopher, greatest industrialist, greatest in whatever profession. I'm sorry if this is not worthwhile. So I was to say this, therefore I said this. Not that I wanted to say this, therefore I said this. I was to say this, therefore I said this. Somebody is behind me who makes me do what I do. I don't do all myself. There is something behind me which makes me do what I do. So I was to say, therefore I said. Not that I wanted to say, therefore I said. Okay, all of you. Get back to Swastikasana. And in Swastikasana, quick. All of you lift your left knee up, pointing the ceiling. After sitting in Swastikasana, left the knee up, left knee lift up. Now take the hand from inside and do your Parivritta Kriya. You can entwine, catch. You can entwine and catch. So this is the variation of Marichasana, Swasti Marichasana. Okay, start. Do your pose, repose, posture, breath gesture, mind gesture. So you will do everything within the horizon, but yoga does beyond the horizon. Now take recourse to hum. This is yoga technology. Akash. We did Prithvi Aptej Vayu. Lam Vam Ram Yam. Now go to hum. Yoga does something beyond horizon. Many things you will not sight. Many things you will not feel. Many things you will not experience. But hum will do it. Yoga will do it. Bruce, you are taking opposite hand, not opposite hand, same hand. Left hand inside. Open side, do it. And try the leg. You can try to catch clasp if possible. So, hum. You don't do what it does. And therefore, it will do something beyond the horizon. So, it will not be phenomenal thing that it is being done. Terosa, again, you are doing wrong. Like I said, left knee up, right knee down. With the knee you are holding, keep it down, Swastikasana. Other knee lift up. Other knee lift up. Other knee lift up perpendicular. Not this, not this. Not this. The other knee. Other knee lift up. Lift that knee up to face the ceiling. No, you are in Swastikasana. I said Swasti Marichasana. The other knee should be in Marichasana. I'm sorry. You are not understanding. Other knee should be in Marichasana. The one you are holding is right. No, no, no. And now entwine the leg. I have taken this asana. Entwine the leg and catch and clasp. So hum. Now release and change the sides. Change the sides. Other leg up. Now, once again, we'll go to Prithvi. We'll go to Prithvi. But I want you to go for Apanik Prithvi. Apanik Prithvi. Understand what is implied? Apanik Prithvi. So Pavana does it. Vacha does it. Vachi Kriya, Pavana Kriya combination does it. Apanik Prithvi. So negotiations are beyond the horizon. The negotiations are beyond the horizon. Within the horizon is that all you do? Harden, tighten, straighten, rotate, pull, push, in, out, up, down. That all you do, which is within the horizon. But the Apanik process and the Apanik Prithvi, that's something beyond the horizon. Not that everything you will be able to sight, not that everything you will be able to experience. Something you might experience, something you might feel typical, but not everything. See the variant. Continue to do that. But listen, now I want you to proceed to Udanik Prithvi. Udanik Prithvi. So the Udan Kriya, which is Pavana Kriya, and then Prithvi. This is what yoga technology does. Yoga happens by yoga. Yoga doesn't happen by your doing. Yoga doesn't happen by your sincerity. Yoga doesn't happen because of your intent, diligence, intelligence, sincerity, honesty, dedication. Yoga doesn't happen by that. Yoga happens by yoga. What's the difference between Apanik Prithvi and Udanik Prithvi? So this is Swasti Marichasana. Try to entwine the leg and try to catch, clasp further and further. Try to bring that. bandha, bond, lock with your entwined hands and clasping. So that is important aspect for the architectural design, the shape of the house. Because it's a citadel. So in twistings, this clasping and entwining and clasping is very important aspect. Now let go, change the legs, swastikasana, and turn to opposite side. So change your legs, one that leg up goes down, other leg down comes up, and bring the opposite hand. Another variant of Marichasana. Another variant of Marichasana, opposite hand. Now if you can't do, you can find out how you do with some assistance. If you can't do, you can go to the first one, former one. If you can't bring the opposite hand, you can do the former one. So it should be yantra, mandala, for which you have to see that you are clasping. If you can't clasp, use a support, use a rope, use a belt, and see that right hand and left hand are in some interaction, combined interaction. So back home, try this. That you try to make it a mandala, you try to make it a yantra, not open-headed, loose-headed, loose ends. So twistings, understand, these loose ends are not allowed classical twistings, which we are all doing because we can't entwine the leg and rotate the arm, etc., etc. So we compromise. But however, you have to see that there is a fastener. Go for Prithvi Pran, Pran location, that is chest. Prithvi Pran. So see that these are chemical variants. So yoga is a marvelous technology which works enormously beyond the horizon. Inside the horizon, you repeat the same thing that you did for whatever. The posture, pose doesn't change. That is Prithvi, Aptej, Vayu, Akash. But internal rearrangements are different. Internal movements are different. Between Panchatattvas, between Panchavayu, they are different. Now change the sides. So see that there is a fastener, which is an important aspect of twistings. So both the arms should be participating. Both the arms should be partaking, participating. And in conjunction, either direct or indirect. Coordination there. So see, you're all stuck in posture. Are you going for breathesture and mindesture? Are you going for mindo culture and breatho culture? Or are you stuck in physical culture? So break these barriers. These are all shackles. Because whatever indoctrination has happened, these are all shackles. Break the shackles. Let go and relax. Anyway, I'm cutting short on twistings because it's already 90 minutes since we started. I'm not going to Parishasana or the Matsyendrasana. However, you should be trying that for your education. Marichasana, Ardha Matsyendrasana 1, 2, Pashasana, Paripurna Matsyendrasana, whatever asanas are possible, you must be trying. But today, because of time constraint, I am taking a bypass. Upashta Konasana, Parivritta Upashta Konasana, etc. So all those twistings, sitting twistings, you must do in your formal approach of study. And they will know how the things are different. The Prithvi of Bharadwaj, Prithvi of Marichasan, Prithvi of um, Ardhamasyendrasan is different, although it might be Apanik Prithvi, Apanik Prithvi, Apanik Prithvi. Because the yantra is different, mandala is different, the structure is different, the house has different shape, as there are different configurations. Each asana has different configuration of the house, different design of the house. So you have one house to stay, but in asanas, that has several houses to stay. Shirshasana is one house, Sarvangasana another house. Every asana is a different structure. Well, while most of us have only one house, except few exceptions who might be having 3 houses and 4 houses and 10 houses. But generally, we have only one house. But in asanas, you find several houses for the indweller. And therefore, the architecture is an important aspect. Sthapatya is an important aspect. Okay. Now, those who can go for right away go to Parsva Shirshasana, Parivritta Pada Shirshasana, and all Parivritta Kriyas of Shirshasana. Those who can't do, don't go on the rope, go on the chair and do chair Bharadwaj. Start. Don't go on rope Shirshasana. Go to Shirshasana and right away go to Parshva. You will do on your own, I won't regiment. Parshva, Parivritta Pada, Parshva Veera, Parshva Padma, etc. You can do. Parivritta Pada. So I won't be regimenting. While those who can't do that, go on the chair and do Bharadwaj. You know Bharadwaj, back rest, back to back rest, chest to back rest, then right side and left side. So I taught you all that on the chair. There are so many, all those 4 ways of doing on the chair Bharadwaj. So you will rotate in them. Now we consider the Bija Mantra Kriyas or the Panchatattvas. Now let's go to one of the Prana Kriyas or the Panchatattvas. So all of you go for the Prana Kriya, La, Va, Ra, Ya, Ha. Opt for one of those. La, 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 la. When you change the side, you can go to Va, 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 Va. When you change the asana, you can go to Ra, Ra, Ra. But in every asana that you stay, take recourse to one Prana Kriya, which is La, La, La. So that will do something beyond the horizon. Something will be within the horizon. You will say, yes, there is a difference. This is the difference. So some difference will be identified, but the whole difference will not be identified. Now see the permutation combination aspect. All of you go for Sharira Kriya with that vowel of Prithvi. You will change sides on your own. You can repeat the same asana or you can go for other variations as well. Veera Parivritta, Parivritta Kapada, Padma if you can do, or you can repeat the same variations also. So, Sharira Kriya and La. When you change the side, Sharira Kriya and Va. If you again change the side, the Sharira Kriya and Ra. So when you change the side, you change the sound form. When you change the sides or change the variation, you can change the vowelization of the Prithvi Prana Kriya. La, Va, Ra, Ya, Ha. Now see how it were significantly different within the horizon and then 10 times, 100 times beyond the horizon. Now you vowelize to E, such as Li, Vi, Ri, Yi, He, wherever you are. Vowelize to E. So see what yoga does. So what yoga does is, then it is sadhana. What you do is your practice. So when you take recourse to yoga sadhana, yoga, the technology of yoga, classical yoga, Sharira Kriya, proceed to Manasa Kriya. So Panchatattva Manasa Kriya. Panchatattva Manasa Kriya. So changing sides is on your own. You can go for all variants of Bharadwaj. You can vowelize to another vowel such as Lu, Wu, Ru, Yu, Hu. It is enormous technology, incredible technology. An enormous spectrum is offered for something to happen inside the horizon and even beyond, 10, 100,000 times beyond the horizon. So Sharira Kriya, Vachik Kriya, Manasa Kriya you did, and Vachik Kriya is already there. Sharira Kriya, Manasa Kriya. The Shwasa Kriya is already in. Now go for Karma Kriya. Karma Kriya, doer, doing, done. So you can go for Panchatattvas as you change the sides, as you change the posture. So you can change the Tattva Kriya. You can change the vowelization as well. Try the different vowels. You did the lum, 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 lum earlier. Now you can do la, la, li, lu, va, va, vi, vu, ra, ra, ri, ru, ya, ya, yi, yu, ha, ha, hi, hu. That's called Prana Kriyas. Anyway, Karma Kriya. So what is Karma Kriya? Have you crystallized? If not, please read the book before it is too late. Open that book, Ashtadasha Mahakriyas. So in education, I've been teaching you technology of yoga. The teachers don't teach you technology of yoga, they only teach you technique of yoga. So technology of yoga is an important endowment of education. And you know that how it's marvelous, enormous, huge spectrum is opened out. Anyway, you can be trying the whatever of the Ashtadasha Mahakriyas. Not everything today, but you can use it, do in piecemeal manner. As a part of technology, the Shwasa Kriya, Prana Kriya, and the Vachi Kriya is already there. So understand the compositeness. Vachi Kriya, Vayu Kriya, Prana Kriya, Tattva Kriya is there by default. And then you have to try to work on other Kriyas of the Ashtadasha Mahakriyas. Okay, anyway, when you finish the left side also, let go. Suspend it there. Adjourn it there. So again, take assessment. Were you stuck in posture, or did you go to breathesture and mindesture as well? Were you stuck in physical culture, or did you also go for culture and culture? This depends upon how much education you have digested, ingested, and digested. Therefore, improve that so that you don't have to depend upon memory, because you forget. You don't remember, therefore you don't do, because it doesn't get into system. It should get into system by your practice. Anyway, now you'll go for Jatana Parivartanasana, both the feet to right side against the wall, at the wall. You may use the belt also. Jatana Parivartanasana. So lie down parallel to the wall and then put your feet against the wall. Feet against the wall. You may use the belt as well if you want. I don't know if you remember, I taken belt to your feet and shoulder. Right shoulder and the 2 feet. Left shoulder and the 2 feet when you do left. See, people, because of lack of your educatedness, many things you forget. Or you can do with the belt held in the hands, that you know it, you are taught, you are practicing that. Holding the belt with your hands and then doing it. So, Indriya Kriya. Indriya Kriya. So, Kaya Kriya, Vachi Kriya, Manasik Kriya, Indriya Kriya, Karma Kriya. And use the Panchatatvas. Panchatatvas, one side, one Panchatattva, another side, another Panchatattva. Don't change until I tell you. So try to improve your version as you get the access penetration. So see that your pose is edited, the improved version. It depends upon penetration and access that you get. Now change the sides. See, I'm interrupting. This is what happens in class. The teachers are more often interrupters. What is Yoga Kriya? Are you clear about Yoga Kriya? So Yoga Kriya means you get mudras, Kapalbhati, Agnisar, Udyan, which are in your syllabus. Yogasan Kriya. What is Yogasan Kriya? Putting into the framework of Yogasan as given by Patanjali. Sthirasukamasanam, Prayatya Shaithilya Ananta Samapattibhyam, Tattva Dvandvanabhighataha. So going by the direction given by Patanjali in his Yoga Sutras on asanas, that is Yogasan Kriya. Then there is Yoga Samskruti Kriya. Where Guruji is pioneer. He has enumerated that. Varnashram Kriya. Varnashram Kriya is Samskruti Kriya. So understand the permutation combination. You can do Apanik, you can do Panchavayu with the Tattva combination, and then you can go for Samskruti Kriya or Jnana Kriya and other Kriya, Yogasana Kriya, Yoga Kriya, Samskruti Kriya, Jnana Kriya, Karma Yoga Kriya, Jnana Yoga Kriya, Prana Kriya is in place anyway. Vayu Kriya can be in place. So this is how you'll have to slowly become familiar with the technology, then it is not complicated. So watching, sensing, feeling, as I told you about PPP, PPC, these formulae were given. So you have to do this, and what you expect from children to fashion the alphabets. You have to do this fashioning of all these basic fundamental things. So they will appear, you don't have to remember. They will come. They will come on their own when you are sufficiently familiar with it. You are not familiar, therefore you forget so many things. Supta Padanguttasana 3, that is opposite leg to the wall, arrange. After Jatara Parivartanasana, you will go for Supta Padanguttasana 3. You may use the belt. So your left leg will come to right side with a belt, maybe to the foot and shoulder. Left foot and right shoulder looped. Or you can hold the belt and do it, which you are all familiar with it. Supta Padanguttasana 3. So you can use one of the Ashtadasha Mahakriya that you remember. I gave you a few here. Sharir Kriya, Vachi Kriya, Manasa Kriya, Indriya Kriya, Karma Kriya, Jnana Kriya, Yoga Kriya, Yogasana Kriya, Samskruti Kriya. Later you get the Tattva Kriya is by default there. Today we are doing Tattva Kriya, then sometimes you can be doing Chakra Kriya. The side leg should be stuck to the wall, so it works as a fulcrum, leverage. And now the other side. Turn around the other side. Supta Padanguttasana 3. So today we have stuck to twistings right from word go. So take note of it. So Udyan Mudra is there. Other mudras are there. Kapal Bhati is there. Agnisar is there. So many of you are not incorporating these aspects which are mentioned in Ashtadasha Mahakriyas. So those kriyas can come in Panchatatvas, Panchaprana, Panchavayu. Those can come in your Jnana Kriya, Karma Kriya, where there will be some change in the flavor. or change in the texture, at least. Anyway, let go and come out. And all of you go to rope dog pose. I want you to go to rope dog pose and take your right hand to the rope and rotate in dog pose. Rotation in dog pose by raising the right hand, catching the rope. So before you go to dog pose, see that the rope is handy. And then you will do the Parivritta Kriya of your Adho Mukha Svanasana. The Parivritta Kriya of Adho Mukha Svanasana. So catch hold of the right rope. Once you go, you will not be able to reach it. So the upper rope should go to right hand. Upper rope should be held. Don't go to dog pose first, mark it, come up. And first catch hold of the rope there, which is from top. Have it in your right hand and then go down. So left hand will be extended further in dog pose, and right hand will give you rotation. So both the feet to the wall. Both the feet to the wall. Left hand in dog pose formally. Right hand for rotation. You can slide down so that you don't compromise with the dog pose. If you hold high, then you compromise with the dog pose. So left side is in dog pose. Right side of the body is in Parivritta Kriya. So back home, try to practice it and master it. Because I know many of you have not done at all. Bruce, here both the legs should be back. I can't see. So hold nearer the knot so that you don't compromise with your left side dog pose of the left side trunk and left arm. And then you have to rotate. Then you have to rotate. I understand it won't come to you because many of you have not done. You have to do it at least 10, 20 times to become familiar with the configuration. Now the other side. So you have to master this back home. Both the feet remain back in dog pose. One arm goes to dog pose. Now the right arm goes to dog pose. Left arm is rotator arm. You should rotate your trunk. Like Parivritta Trikonasana, Parivritta Adho Mukha Svanasana. Parivritta Adho Mukha Svanasana. So do some about say 80, 100, 80 times, 90 times, 100 times. Then you will have a hang of it. And then you will not be compromising on dog pose and go for Parivritta Adho Mukha Svanasana with the help of the rope. Anyway, I know you will be clumsy, you will be getting worked up. So you will not be adhering to any formal scheme. So once you are familiar, then you can adhere to formal scheme. Anyway, it is a punity position, so come out. Come out of it. And all of you straight away go to half halasana. Not much time left. So straight away go to half halasana. Alternately, bench setuban. In case if you are not doing halasana, go to bench setuban. Half halasana. Or bench setuban, bridge setuban, except the brick. Except the brick. Go to any other setuban. Bolster setuban, cot setuban, bridge setuban, bench setuban. And all of you settle down to rotary breathing, allowed to revoke it and instate it again. Rotary breathing, as small diameter as possible, microscopic diameter as far as possible. You can revoke it for a while, recover, refresh, revamp, get resourced, and again proceed for doing fine, super fine, rotary breathing, tinier and tinier and tinier orbits. Now you can be doing those in Bija Mantra of Panchatattvas. You are allowed to change between Lam, Vam, Ram, Yam, Hum, a cluster of Lam, cluster of Vam, cluster of Yam, and then Hum. So allocate a cluster to each Bija Mantra Kriya. So allow the yoga to work by finer breathing, microscopic breathing, rarefied breathing. There are under 3 minutes to go before we pull down the curtain. So particularly youngsters, old people, it might be little taxation to make it finer and finer. But young people find out you can venture to do it as rarefied as possible, as tinier as possible. But those are coronary conditions, don't do that much. Don't venture. Don't just try it and do it to the extent possible in the comfort zone. While for youngsters, I would suggest you can break the comfort zone and try to go even beyond. But unfortunately, there are not many youngsters in my classes. My class has become senior citizens club. I'm close to that. One and a half minutes to go. So youngsters should try, those with strong energies and power should try. How rarefied can I do the breathing? How microscopic, electron microscopic breathing can I do? And you can perhaps even make it an exercise because I've allowed you recovery cycles subsequently. Anyway, reminder, Thursday class I spoke about within horizon, beyond the horizon. So a reminder, those who are not on Thursday class, if you want to have little dip into it, please avail of recordings which would be available. Those who have done the class online, please avail of recordings. Those who did offline class, you can again go for recordings so you can have a refresher. It's a very important concept within horizon and beyond horizon. Anyway, the time is up. So you can slowly go for closure, withdrawal, closure, conclusion. That marks the end of the class. Thanks for your patience. Goodbye, all of you. Namaskar.